Hey everyone, welcome back to another one of our podcasts, Poorly Reviewed. We've got our coffee here. This is episode, which one?
Don't matter.
4. We're on episode 4.
No, this is
5.
technically episode 3 because we're going to release this
Okay, well,
before
welcome.
we did the other. Well, because we have a bunch in the can, but I just never posted them because.
We don't need to reveal what's behind the curtain. Anyway, thanks for coming back to another one of our Poorly Reviewed. This one, we're going to focus on a lot of things that we've watched over these couple of days here, like including, um, you know, our thoughts on WandaVision and a few other things. But let's just start with that. Let's get into what did you think of WandaVision? Because I enjoyed it. It was very creative, and some of the things that they did for reliving the different type of TV eras and everything, like the artwork for that, Mary Tyler Moore Bewitched time, and some of the intros for the Malcolm in the Middle type of sitcom and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun, and Agatha was fun. Agatha Harkness,
Mm-hmm.
or Agnes, as she is now. I'm sorry, spoiler.
Spoilers for all the WandaVision.
Well, we didn't really reveal like the big conclusion or anything.
I mean, this is posting, 3-4 weeks after the finale of this
Yeah,
WandaVision?
I think we're in a good
We're kind of
spot.
I just wanted to touch on it real quick
Yeah.
before we move on to Falcon Winter Soldier, which is going on now.
We just saw episode 2
We did.
on Saturday, not on Friday.
Yeah. But WandaVision, I mean, like you said, I love everything building up to like the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
The last 2 episodes kind of got a little out of hand for me.
When you see the spoilers, baby Wanda and Pietro and all that.
It kind of boils down to this weird, like, I'm gonna throw magic balls at you type thing. I'm just like, when you could have done something a little bit more creative. Like, if they used the
Far
second
From
to the
Home.
last episode where they're going through Wanda's traumatic past and she's reliving all that and remembering things maybe for the first time and retconning her abilities. If they did
That
that
was fun.
while they had like a little like maybe conjuring conflict during all that, that would have been an interesting finale. It's going through her mind, fighting inside of her mind.
Yeah.
But then they get out into the real world again, and it's just
A big old
throwing
show.
magic balls at each other. And
Honestly, the ending of their fight was pretty that was like, okay, this is, whoa, she's powerful.
yeah, she reveals how powerful she
Yeah,
really is and
that's cool.
how much ingenuity she has when she learn. I mean, they set up the runes in the 3 episodes prior,
Right.
and then they paid it off in the finale, which I
Yeah.
guess is okay. But usually they have a longer,
But when Agatha
longer
was
time
like,
between.
only the witch who casts the runes can use her powers.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's gonna come back.
And I'm starting to see maybe it's been so long since I've seen a Marvel-related content. I'm seeing the writing for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Like,
just exposition.
But there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Whenever I look back on things like I don't know if you ever saw the kind of the first attempts at the live action Disney movies, because I remember the Jungle Book that they tried to do when they re-released the Jungle Book. So before the Jon Favreau one, there was this one where they had actual animals and some sort of teen and
I
everything.
vaguely remember that.
All of movies that have been like that, geared towards everyone, it's very over the, like, hit you over the head. And I guess I'm numb to it because I grew up watching it, and to see it in a different form with slightly more complicated things happening with superheroes involved and powers and stuff, they have to dumb it down because
There's
the
a way to dumb
material-
it down though, so it's not like now we're gonna go over here. All right, we're doing this thing. I learned this ability now, so now we can defeat the final boss.
I don't know. I don't find it surprising at all.
It's not surprising, no, but like I'm seeing it like
You're like, ugh.
some of the the writing constraints that people are forced into to meet the Marvel Disney standard.
Right. They probably give a script that's, who knows? Somebody probably wrote something. I don't remember who wrote all the different episodes for WandaVision, but they probably, like, the first couple episodes were really cool. Really, like, oh my God, this is weird. This is dark. What is happening? And then once they start to go into revealing what's happening, I don't know, the people who, Disney or Marvel is just like, no, it has to be a little bit more, yabba dabba doo.
I gotta tell you.
and silliness and like kiddiness and stuff like that, because not only adults are watching this, but I mean, there's a lot of things out there that has been geared towards adults, but they have adult themes and adult, like, conflicts and everything, and a little bit more complicated scripting. And kids get it, and kids like it, and whatever.
I don't think kids would understand WandaVision, though, because it's all about the grief of loss of love.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like that whole series was dedicated to kids.
Kids, yeah.
It was
but
more
it's for
geared
everyone.
to, like, teenagers and up, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's kids that are
like,
younger who understand the grief of loss and stuff like that, but like the wider audience, I don't know if they're gonna really pick up on all the subtleties of what the WandaVision series was trying to go for, the 5 stages of grief or whatever it's called.
Yeah, bargaining, acceptance, anger. No, wait, acceptance is the last part.
Yeah.
But bargaining, anger, sadness.
But I liked WandaVision up. Even the second to the last episode, I appreciated going back through things and you could get things in a different light. And I also find that type of storytelling, because they do it a lot in TV shows, where they wait until the second to last episode to reveal everything that we didn't learn yet, and then they do the grand finale, climax, battle sequence. And I don't really care for that. I would prefer it be more linear. Not that I don't like. I mean, I don't necessarily care for non-linear storytelling, unless it's
you're kind of biased.
Unless it's about time travel. But
that's the only time. But even this guy hated Tenet, the Mr. I like time travel.
I didn't hate Tenet.
And
I said I didn't think it was that great.
You listen, but the thing is, it
was
had
just
all
exposition
the things,
after exposition after exposition.
It had everything that you liked, and
I
then,
didn't care about any of the characters.
Clues,
zero characters I cared about.
Stop! This is enough. I will not have this. Then it was great. I don't understand how you, Mr.
The only character protagonist was okay. But like he was like a blank slate type of character. Like you could
What's
the Russian
Dolph Lundgren? What are you?
No, there's an old acting thing where like you
Tabula rasa.
No, like anytime you put someone's face on something, it's just around the context of the scene, and the face could be the same each time, but the context around the scene could make you feel like that face means something else in each context.
Oh, you mean if you cut to something happy in their face, they're like, oh, they're happy. If you cut to something sad and in their face,
it's the same face, sad. And then you think they're sad, and it's this really subtle sadness.
Right.
And like that's how I feel like they had made the protagonist.
I don't see that, because he had a lot of emotion. Anyway, back to WandaVision. There were the little reveal. Some of the reveals are like, what, like the Pietro thing. That was weird.
The reveals are like right across your face.
Or a slap, or
I feel like I get slapped across the face. Just like in the latest episode, spoilers for a little bit of Falcon Winter Soldier. But episode 2, we have 2 reveals in that episode. Isaiah.
Which was Isaiah was the best scene.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
My favorite part of that episode has been the Isaiah and isn't it Eli? Because that's the next Captain America is the boy who said he can't come in. That's Eli, the newest one that's on the Young Avengers. I think that's his name. I forget.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, that's Eli. I think it was a
So
yeah.
Isaiah, and then the reveal that we gotta go see Zemo.
Yeah.
Like they have to say the things. Why can't you just imply it? Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like why you have
You
to.
couldn't you like you just said about that Russian thing where they could have just said, we got to go see him, and then they do that big orchestral hit, and then reveal that dude that
Yeah, he
every
could
time
have.
I see his face, I'm really annoyed.
You could have seen like an old picture of Isaiah in whatever super soldier costume that he had back then. And that could have been the reveal. Like there was a super soldier back in World War II that wasn't on Captain America.
Right.
And then you can have the same thing for like WandaVision. WandaVision, they had to have Kat Dennings' character say, they recast Pietro? Come
Yeah.
on. Like,
But
no one's gonna even know what Pietro is at that moment.
yeah,
Like
Pietro's
all
gone.
the grandmas and grandpas like Pietro.
Who's that?
Who that?
Who that? And Grandma didn't see Ultron. She only saw the one where she only saw Civil War and Endgame 1 and 2, and she's like, I don't know
Yeah.
who Pietro is.
I'm just seeing some of the issues that people may have experienced with MCU films more recently than I have in the past. And maybe it's down to who is the writer-director of that particular thing. Maybe it's different because the way they're doing their TV shows. Because I don't remember it being so blatant in like any of the Russo brothers movies.
Yeah, it's subtle. It's a little subtle, not like the big like we have to go and find Iron Man. It's more like we just cut to him living his best life, and then we roll up, and then he says, "No, I can't do this no more." Yeah, I think it's definitely because of maybe it's because they're on this different platform. They're showing this content differently in a different format.
Maybe it's COVID.
It has to be a little bit more digestible.
Sure.
And since there's these episodic constraints, they have to be like, this is this and that is that and da da da. But the problem, like, that's fine. I can dismiss all that because I guess I'm used to it and I'm desensitized
It's fine. I
to it.
can
But the
dismiss
thing
it. I
is
just
the
notice
jokes
it.
and like
The jokes are bad.
the jokes can be a little bad. I don't think that Anthony Mackie is bad.
No.
I think he's doing the best he can with this dialogue for sure. It sounds natural coming out of him, but it's just like, are these get someone collect their dad? Like it's like someone go collect their dad.
There's just something about the interactions. Now we're on Falcon Winter Soldier.
Right.
Did you have anything else you want to talk about WandaVision? I'm kind of done with it. I like the whole series. The ending was kind of a little lackluster for me. The end.
I wish that some of the I need to get my friend and astrophysics.
Yeah, there was some things that they didn't reveal that was kind of
reveals.
obnoxious.
Okay, I'm sorry about the way that we jumped around, but it's just we have a lot of issues with certain parts of this Avengers extra content. But listen, because I like it, I enjoy it, and I want to see.
I'm a big fan of the MCU. I like the way they built it. It's great.
Yeah, I want to see these characters that deserve a little bit more exploration to get good content. Good shows. And WandaVision started out strong, and then it just kind of spiraled down a little bit, in my opinion. The reveals were like the so-called reveals and like characters that were going to be drawn into it. Like the way that they would frame things up, it's just like, no, you just did that to mess with us. Like, people can say like, oh, you shouldn't read too much into it and just, get in, enjoy the ride and who they reveal. But like the Pietro thing was unnecessary. Like, unless you were going to do something. Like, he just turns out to be some actor named like something Boner. And that's just like, that's not funny. That's like, what? Why did you do that?
That was stunt casting, but I feel like it was still effective to the point where Pietro needed to come back to help her resolve Wanda's own internal issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why they brought Pietro back. Why they stunt cast, I don't understand that. I feel like that was just the way for them to be like, oh, we're doing the X-Men. The X-Men are now in the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, on WandaVision. Ooh.
Yeah, we could have had like the reveal of the Scarlet Witch that she is a mutant, that she, whatever, and
Which they did end up retconning into the second to the last episode, saying
Right.
that she's always had probability powers. And now when she met the Mind Stone, her powers have been enhanced, and
enhanced
to have the chaotic magic that
chaos, the creation, whatever Scarlet
that
Witch thing.
Agatha Harkness has been searching for since the Salem witch trials.
She was just so thirsty for
Yeah.
all the different types of magic, but and then how Photon was created, it was okay, but
Yeah.
that could have I wanted more. She didn't really have anything to do. They
She was
wanted
supposed to have more stuff to do in the finale, but
Right.
I guess there was a production issue where they couldn't, because of all this stuff going on,
Oh, okay.
that they weren't able to make it work the way they wanted it to.
Yeah, because she's supposed to be like almost Captain Marvel type of like energy projection, like flight and things like
Yeah.
that, like crazy molecular changing things. Like she's like we only got a taste of it.
I read that somewhere that they were supposed to have the kids and now I can't remember her name.
Photon.
Monica.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau. Yeah.
Monica, and then Mr. Pietro, fake Pietro, were all supposed to fight the bunny rabbit that she had in her hand in the second to the last episode. Was going to become a demon character.
Oh.
They were going to go back and get the Necronomicon from the basement or whatever it was, and
Okay.
they were going to fight that, but they weren't able to complete the CGI and the sequences and all that stuff in time, so they had to redo it to the point where she's just like stops the bullets because what's his dick was going to shoot the kids or something like that.
What's his dick? Yeah, that's probably the best way to call him. Yeah, it's just whatever. I didn't enjoy the last couple of episodes, but the beginning was pretty strong.
I enjoyed the last few episodes. I just thought they were lackluster.
Yeah, they were decent. They were decent.
But,
I thought that this was a good send off, a good way to show how gray Scarlet Witch can be, and how she's just doing the best she can.
It's a good change. It was a way for us to introduce this actual Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
That's the whole series. To introduce the actual Scarlet Witch.
Because we never
and
really
bring
got it.
back Vision.
Yeah.
Because now Vision is technically back as the White Vision.
He's like, and I'm out. Like, hey, let me just system reset real quick. And he's like, oh, good. Windows update is finished.
Thanks.
I'll see you later.
Zippity doo doo.
So yeah, that was it. It was okay. Winter Soldier. Let's get into it.
Winter Soldier. I have issues with this show.
He was so annoyed. Watch, I can look every time I look over, and Sean is like kind of like in the fetal position, leaned over, and he looks confused. I know.
I don't like the writing. The dialogue seems so first draft.
Yeah.
Like everyone has to be quippy. It's the quippy fucking Joss Whedon shit.
But weren't they always like that bickery old couple though?
They had that bickeriness to them, but now I feel like it's on another level, and it's just a little too much.
Right.
Like they just saw each
this?
other since the end game.
Yeah.
On the second episode here.
Right.
The first episode was them apart the entire time, and they still had the same quippy bullshit.
But the thing is, I'm confused because like it seems like at the end of Endgame, spoilers if you haven't seen Endgame, but when
3-4 years
some
ago
people
now?
don't for
2-3 years
the
ago?
2-3 people out there who's like I'm not interested in any Marvel stuff. Sam the Falcon, Anthony Mackie's character gets he's basically Captain America hands the mantle onto him, which is canon in the comic books, and Bucky, his friend who was there, who also held the mantle of Captain America at one point, right? But he was more of more brutal or whatever. But anyway, Bucky's there and he's just like, hell yeah, give it to Sam. Sam is a good choice. Everything seemed like they're past that bicker shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They seem like they both mellowed out and we're here to save the world together. We're all a team. We've been through this song and dance many times. And then all of a sudden they're back at it again. Like, I don't know. I just seemed like it was doesn't seem right.
The big, yeah.
I mean, now that he, in episode 2, revealed why he so got this wall up again towards Sam, because spoilers, he says
it
that
made sense, yeah.
Yeah, he says that.
But it's juvenile at the same time.
It is, because, like, you're an old man.
Yeah.
You're a grown man.
It's juvenile conflicts that are just spiraling into this bickeriness that just keeps going, and it's pointless.
I feel like Bucky, like, we now know that he still suffers this intense PTSD that he's not quite integrating into society.
Their singular stories are fine.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I think from his time in Wakanda, which is also another spoiler, he mellowed out because he was like, I'm in a society that, even though I'm, kind of the, an oddity here, everyone is accepting and I feel at peace here and no one bothers me. And now I'm back in the city and he still hasn't got that mellow no more. Like, if I was Bucky, I would come to it like the situation with Sam giving back the Captain America mantle and the shield. I would have been like, why are you, more supportive and trying to convince him to do the right thing? Because this new Cap, I don't fucks with him. I don't know. That's just in my head, I guess. I would be like, listen, like, it seems like it's this weird. It's just kind of.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of dick measuring across the board. All the male characters are just whipping it out and saying, see, mine's bigger.
yeah.
And it's so obnoxious. It is so base level nonsense.
Yeah.
And I just hope that it gets progressive. Like, the actual story and the plotting and everything that they're trying to build upon with this particular episode, this limited series is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
The CGI could be better. It's obviously on green screen at some points.
It's weird.
And like it was weird when we were watching it. We said, I think we're used to the Russos, where they're really good at incorporating both digital effects and live action.
Yeah, but even then, like, if you look at Endgame, it's kind of like, okay, this is all pixels I'm looking at. But this...
It is, but it looks realistic in a way.
I don't know. I guess it's because I've got a more critical eye, but sometimes I'm just like, that ain't real. But there are scenes with, like, I think the opening scene with his flying was fine.
Yes.
But these fight scenes, it looks like
specifically on top of the
it's kind
freight
of weird.
Trucks.
Yeah.
Like, none of the blocking made sense in the scene. None of the effects made sense.
It's still great. Like, I mean, compared to stuff that we see on Amazon Prime all the time, it's good. It's just like, wait, whoa, that's kind of weird. That's all.
Like, why does the new Captain America and his partner show up? I don't know the partner's name.
I forgot his name.
Warpath, Ballistic, something like that.
I think he just has his name. He's like Sergeant something.
No, there's something.
Okay, well, because Sean, you weren't paying attention.
I was annoyed. Every time the Captain America character came on screen, I literally tuned out.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I mean, he's doing his job then, because we're not supposed to like him.
It's not that I don't like him. I just don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we sympathize because, like, what would you do if someone if you were chosen to be the next super soldier, to Captain America or whatever?
Which way I argued that you didn't need in the first place.
Exactly. But anyway, no. So they get in the back of his Jeep, and then they have their little dick measuring, right? And that's probably where you tuned out, but. Basically, his partner is like, oh, so we tracked your Red Wing, which is U.S. government stuff.
I understand
and
all
when
that.
we saw that you were going into this territory, basically they were like, we are aware something's happening right now with the terrorists or the so-called terrorists. So when you were going there and we heard some of, like, the communication and stuff, we followed for backup. They basically just followed them. They just stalking them. Because they want to work with them.
Fine.
Because he said, like...
Coincidences happen. They were both working the same case. They both showed up at the same time.
Shine.
They point fingers at each other.
This is it. This is it. This is literally what he said. I need his wingman on my team.
Yeah, I know.
So that's why he's stalking him. They keep stalking him because they want to recruit him.
I think they were working separate. I think they were working the situation separately. They just happened to use this opportunity to try to recruit Sam into the fold.
I literally just said that they want Sam to be part of it.
Yes, that's not why they showed up on top of the freight trucks. So they showed up on top of the freight trucks.
They helicoptered
just
in
to talk to Sam and it's like, oh, I see you guys are in a fight. I'll step in, and then afterwards maybe you and I can go get a beer. How about that?
Basically,
that doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm just telling you. That's what he wants. Anyway,
that's secondary. That's B plot shit.
But anyway, I think the villain is not bad. That they want to have the world back to where it was before when the blip.
I think they're a secondary villain, this terrorist group, but I like their motivation. Yeah, I think that's great.
That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
I like the idea of the Captain America replacement for kinda like that he's trying to fill in a role that, but he's not suited.
Turns out to be Hydra.
That he's not suited for. I have a feeling he's going to die during this series.
I feel like he's going to be a Hydra agent.
Probably in the next episode. Because I mean, they don't really use what's his name? Was his name John Walker or Jim? It's Jim or John Walker. One of the two.
John?
Yeah, doesn't matter. I think he's going to die because he don't really matter too much to the overall story.
Yeah.
And then Sam's going to take up the mantle finally.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. That's how we're going to get this. How he's going to... It's the whole plot is Sam assuming his role as the new Captain America with Bucky at his side. And then we're going to go into the movies.
Yeah. But I think because the most recent thing is that the Captain America turned out to be a Hydra agent the whole time.
Maybe. I don't think they're using Hydra anymore, though.
Hydra's kind of gone.
Maybe.
They're still around.
If they bring Hydra back, cool.
You cut off one hand, another one.
I hope they bring Hydra back. Hydra was one of the good things about the first.
That's their whole MO.
The first 2 phases.
Well,
I wish they would have done more.
I'm interested to see what else happens in the show. I'm interested. There are parts where I'm just like, dude, the jokes and stuff, like we said, dialogue and things like that. Some of the CGI is looking kind of weird, but I'm not interested.
No, I'll still keep watching it. It is what it is. I'm noticing issues with storytelling.
Yeah.
And it bugged me to the point where I tuned out sometimes.
Oh, sometimes. Pretty much every 5 minutes, you were just.
But I'm not an MCU fucking apologist. All right, I'm calling them out. And this is before we get into. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Snydercut.
Yeah, no, a little bit. Okay. Sean watched it. I did not because I was just not. I'm not interested. Listen. I've been burnt by these DC movies enough to the point that I know that I need to just wipe my hands, like for stuff like this, because the Justice League was not. I felt like it hasn't been earned yet. Like I feel like they were rushing to do it, and that's why these movies, like we had to have a recooked version because that first one was a hodgepodge of all sorts.
Wait, you talking about
the Justice League
theatrical cut?
The theatrical cut, yeah. And I've listened to people's reviews about how it's much better, and I can understand that, and I understand that like now that the movie is still it has problems, but it's much better with somebody with the same vision and something with his goal in mind. But the movie was not ready. We ain't ready for the Justice League yet. Sorry. Go on, Sean. Tell me all about it.
The Snyder Cut. It is better than the theatrical cut, yes.
Obviously.
It provides more growth for the characters.
That's great.
It gives them motivation. Each character has motivation. And the theatrical cut, people are just like,
I'm here.
What's up, man? I'm here. You need help?
Witty dialogue.
Witty dialogue, yeah. you are a smoking hot Amazon warrior, and if this was another
Why are you crying
situation,
over your boyfriend? See, and that made me even more mad because I didn't even see Justice League, and I find out that Batman is chastising Diana about crying over her boyfriend, and then her whole movie is that she's crying over her boyfriend.
well,
And
because they were trying to
in
tease getting those
84.
two together, so he was jealous. I think he was jealous in theatrical cut.
So, like, why do you do Diana this way? She is the one that does not deserve this.
No.
She's the real superhero out of the group now.
Yeah.
Like, so far, like, I've said this before many times to Sean, I feel like the only Justice League character that has a good characterization and who seems like a hero is Wonder Woman. That's the only person who's actually got...
As of the theatrical cut of Justice League, yes.
Yeah, but she's kind, she's humane, she's like, I fight for justice. She's actually level-headed, you know what I mean? And she has...
Well, level-headed. If you didn't watch 84.
No, what I mean, yeah, exactly.
If you didn't
but
watch
you know what I mean? She's actually like fighting for good causes and trying to be some sort of beacon of hope. Like some sort of actual, like, I don't know, like Superman should be, but... but like, I don't understand why they keep on giving her this motivation of, I'm gonna hide and I fell in love once.
They don't talk about that at all in the Snydercut.
Oh my God.
That whole thing about her being away for so long, it's gone. Mm-hmm. They got rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, like I said, everyone's character is more fleshed out. Everyone has a moment. Mm-hmm. Everyone's powers and abilities make sense to their thing. The problem I had, like, okay, let me keep going with the good stuff. The movie overall, it doesn't really slog very often. There's some parts where it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
But most of it is just a good flowing pace, which is weird to say about a 4-hour movie.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
I mean, I did have to watch it in like increments. I got up and walked away for a little bit and came back to it. But like, it still feels like it flows well. The problems I have with it is it has the same overall story of the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Which is the main problem. I understand where they're coming from because they kind of set themselves up into a little bit of a corner with Batman vs Superman, where Batman's just like, oh man, I killed the only person that's who was a beacon for hope for the world, and we need a team now since he's gone. Yeah. I understand that. It's stupid, but I understand it.
I don't have to agree with it, but I understand it. I just don't like how the characterization of Batman now too. Like, I get that Zack Snyder prefers characters like Watchmen. He likes
complicated,
darkness.
dark. He likes
characters that is not necessarily you're not supposed to like them. You just need to sympathize with them, and that's why I like his Watchmen. I like it. I don't love it. I like it, but I get why
most of his
style.
Movies, you just like it.
Yeah. It's fine. He's a good director.
He's an okay director. Listen, he's a great cinematographer.
For sure.
He can paint a movie like a fucking Sistine Chapel. It will look great.
It'll look gorgeous.
It will look fucking great.
But I get why he goes, like, you know, for those characters that are like in these dark situations and sexual assault and murder and government.
He likes the realism of it.
Yeah, he likes that. And I'm sorry, but Batman was not supposed... I mean, I guess he's trying to do the Frank Miller type Batman.
He was trying to do the
But we can't have
Batman.
a Frank Miller Batman and a Frank Miller Superman and have the true Wonder Woman and a bro Aquaman.
Bro Aquaman.
No, you know what I mean? Because, like, Aquaman is, like... He's much different than what he's being he's changed into with Jason Momoa, which is I'm not against it. That's fine. It's just that these characters joining teams with the way that he's characterized Superman and Batman, I feel like it just doesn't work.
It's not as bad with the Snyder Cut. Like, I feel like the characters are make more sense overall. I still feel like there's mischaracterizations that they have, but he's going for a certain aesthetic for these characters, which is fine for him, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, he got it to work the way he wanted to, but Batman still doesn't act completely like Batman.
Right.
Superman doesn't act completely like Superman. Wonder Woman is okay. She's pretty much who she's supposed to be. Flash, I don't understand.
He loves the Flash, and this Flash is like the antithesis.
I do not like the portrayal of the Flash, Barry Allen, in this movie. I think Ezra Miller is doing too much. Pull it back. Less is more. Barry Allen is not on the spectrum. Stop trying to put him on the spectrum.
I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, because like, it would be nice to have someone to represent people who are on the spectrum, but Ezra Miller, I don't know, he's not on the spectrum.
I think,
why would you try to portray? I mean, just look at like the movies that are coming out now where people are trying to portray people on the spectrum.
Yeah.
It's just
it's an okay portrayal of someone being on that spectrum.
I like that they get representation, but I think Barry Allen is not quite the fit for it.
Yeah, he's kind of got Asperger's, I think.
Yeah, I mean, did he do his research on portraying a person like that?
I don't think they've actually said that he is on the spectrum. It's just the way he acts seems like a person who's on the spectrum. He's closed off from people.
Okay.
He doesn't understand people. He doesn't understand social cues.
Okay.
He doesn't. He talks real fast because I guess because of his powers.
Yeah.
People don't understand him. He doesn't understand people. Like these are all feel like symptoms of someone who's on that spectrum.
Right.
Who has difficulty connecting.
Like, difficulty assessing people's reactions and stuff like that.
Exactly. And that's just not who Barry is. And it just kind of like, and then he becomes the jokey character too.
We're not trying to keep anyone on the spectrum being like Barry or having powers like the Flash.
The Flash
that's
saves
totally
the fucking
fine,
day at the end.
But it's just that when you have the CW version of Barry Allen, and then like the way that he's been portrayed in the comic books for so long, like there has to be some sort of sensitive changes to that, like some sort of like.
It's jarring.
It's very much like.
As a Flash fan, it was quite kind of jarring.
Right, but I mean, I'm not a Flash fan, so I don't really have a problem with it. But you know, I'm just saying that there's no problem. There shouldn't be any problem with someone they changing the character to represent people, because it's like you still have the Flash that you know, and you know. I'm just saying. I think what you have a problem is his acting
he's too jokey. I mean, Barry Allen is a it's relatively jokey character. Wally West is way more jokey.
Right. If he was Wally, would you have a problem with that? Because I feel
maybe not.
I feel like Wally would be an interesting fit. Because isn't that the one that we got on Justice League, the animated series? Is that
yes?
Okay, so if they were trying to go for that, why shouldn't they should just change his name to Wally?
He should have been Wally. Yeah.
Yeah.
There could have been another Barry Allen.
Because Barry Allen is a detective, isn't he?
He's a CSI.
CSI. Okay.
So.
I think that Barry is a little bit more serious from what I remember of his portrayal.
Yeah, he's always been portrayed as the more serious of the Flash. You got Barry Allen, or you got Jay Garrick, who's
the original.
The original. And then you got Barry Allen, who's the CSI. And then you got Wally West, who's kind of like, he's got his pip powers. He's the fastest man alive, literally. He loves being the fastest man alive. He loves his life.
Yeah, and
he's always
jokey.
having a good time, having jokes. And then you got Impulse, who eventually becomes Flash at some point too, who's kind of similar to Wally. He's just from the future.
Yeah, if they made him like that's probably it, because Barry is different, very calm, kind of level-headed, and tries to figure things out, like with scientific method and stuff like that. You know, like kind of like very methodical. And then Wally is the one who's like that high energy, like jokey. I remember now. Okay.
I just wanted him to be.
I feel like it could be Wally instead.
I also don't understand the casting and making him so young compared to the rest of the cast. Like, everyone else is like 50s to a century, 2 years old. And he's like 22, and then you got Batman, who's like the second youngest.
What?
Yeah.
With all that gray hair? What?
Yeah, and then I don't know how old Aquaman. Maybe Aquaman might be like in his 30s or something, 40s.
No.
Batman's in his 50s. Superman is in his 50s or 60s or whatever, because that man don't age.
Cyborg is in his 20s something.
Oh yeah, Cyborg. Cyborg's pretty young. Yeah, he's in his late teens, early 20s. You're right. My bad. I forgot about Cyborg, which I shouldn't have, because he is great in this movie.
Yeah, that's what I had a problem with when I started seeing like stuff about Cyborg's character in the theatrical cut, and I was like, why would you do him this dirty? Because the most recent animated versions of the Justice League, like coming together, they made it that Cyborg was the central, like the person we follow.
Justice League War, Cyborg was the main.
We follow his perspective.
Yeah, he's the entry into the fold of the superheroes.
Mm-hmm. Which could have happened again, because now I think out of everybody, he's the one who's the newly acquired person with the powers.
Yeah. In the Snyder,
could have had it all.
In the Snyder Cut, he does great stuff. Like you see his evolution of being someone who's really upset for the situation that happened, that his hating his dad for what he did to him, and then becoming see who his dad is, forgiving his dad when his dad, spoilers, dies. It dies in the trailer, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And then coming to terms of being a hero, like this is who he's always meant to be, and all that arc makes sense. Flash's arc kind of makes sense for the most part. He's this uncertain character about himself. He doesn't really do superhero acts, really. He's still learning his abilities for the most part. But at the end of the movie, spoilers, he saves the day. Everyone saves the day at some point, as they should. Justice League Snyder Cut, there's people standing around while Aquaman and Wonder Woman are fighting Steppenwolf. Flash and Superman are rescuing people. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Why are they in Chernobyl, wherever it's called? Chernobyl, sorry, thank you.
Chernobyl.
Why are they living there? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Then you spend 10 minutes setting up this Russian family in the theatrical cut that don't fucking do anything. You wasted so much fucking screen time for that bullshit. You could have fucking expanded on the characters more. I fucking hate the theatrical cut. I want to throw it through a fucking window.
Do you feel better getting that out?
Yes.
Okay, great. This is the reason why I just was like, listen, the standalone movies I will give a fair shake, but the Justice League in the future of like these team up movies, they're not ready yet.
I still think they kind of did Aquaman kind of dirty in the Snyder Cut.
Oh yeah.
He does okay stuff, but he's kind of becomes a cyborg of this, where he's kind of just there.
He
all right.
Go into it. Go off, Queen.
So Batman shows up, like how he does in the theatrical cut. He talks to Aquaman and says,
I know where you are in Siberia.
I know where you is. I know what you are. We're starting the team because there's something coming. And he's just like, nah. And then he goes into the water. He's like, you're a crazy man, Bruce Wayne.
That's what he said?
Yeah. Something like that. And then he's in the water, and then the next time we see him in the Snyder Cut is he's rescuing somebody from a storm. You see him rescue this. Okay, he's great. And he's just like, he brings him in. He's just like, stop going out in the storms, dummy. And he takes a bottle of whiskey.
With your whack ass.
He takes a bottle of whiskey. Says it's on there, guy. And then he goes into the water, and then you talk to William Dafoe's character from he shows up with his long straggly hair,
long wispies,
and they have a conversation at the statue of the former king. That
Graham McTavish,
yeah,
the one who had the trident.
That Arthur was supposed to be. He's the rightful ruler of Atlantis, and he talks about how he's supposed to be doing all those things.
Wait a fucking second. Hang on. Didn't we just do this in the movie?
Yeah, but we don't talk about it in the Justice League. Don't worry about it. Let me go. So
okay.
So William Dafoe talks to Jason Momoa and says, "You're the rightful ruler of Atlantis." And he's just like, "Nah, man, I'm not ready for that shit." And then Arthur then he's just like, "Okay, fine, but you got to help us protect this mother box." It's starting to act up again. He's like, "What?" I'm not interested, and he leaves. And then later on, he shows up to it anyways when Steppenwolf is fighting. He does a Deus Machina, saves Mira at the last possible second, and then she's just like, "Hey, we need your help." And he's like, "Nah."
Wait.
And then he shows up again, Deus Machina, stopping the water in the sewer pipes as the rest of the Justice League is fighting Steppenwolf, and the water's rushing towards them. He stops it with the trident, and then it's just Deus Machina again. And then he's just like, all right, I'm here now. So I don't like any of that stuff. It's fine. It's fine. It just doesn't. It's just coincidental.
Who you try to
It's just
convince?
coincidental story stuff. Overall, the story, the movie is light years ahead of the theatrical cut.
Okay.
Everyone's got depth. Everyone's got time to build. Everyone's got an arc. Even Superman, who's only in the movie for like 40 minutes, has an arc.
Nice.
Batman kind of stands off to the side and does nothing for the last 30 minutes of the movie.
What about Martian Manhunter?
Martian Manhunter is an okay addition to it.
Yeah.
It does take away from a scene that the only other scene that Lois has.
Yeah. With Martha Kent.
Yeah, because Martha Kent is talking to her, and they're talking about the loss of Clark and everything, and there's this really emotional scene, and she leaves, and it's Martian Manhunter the entire time.
What?
It doesn't make any sense to that character, to that conversation, really.
It takes away their connection.
Well, it takes the connection between Martha and Lois, but it helps expand the Martian Manhunter character, saying that he's propelling Lois to do something.
Right.
Because all throughout BVS,
I'm never gonna watch that movie.
He's basically talking to Lois and giving her stories and stuff. So you could see that he's this person who's trying to motivate Lois to go do something grand and do something. And so this makes sense in that context, but it ruins the whole scene. And then he shows up at the very end.
Hey, guys.
Crossing his arms, is like, "Hey, I'm Martian Manhunter. If you need me, I'll be around." And
okay.
And then anorexic Batfleck is just like, "Cool."
Are you trying to put the Avengers initiative together? I already did that. I already got the Justice League started.
So and there's a bunch of different sequences. The movie feels both the same yet different at the same time. I don't like the aspect ratio. It's pretentious as fuck.
Did you like the Joker dream?
No. One second. Guys, I just wanted to talk about the plotting of the movie real quick. Just the overall, the way they come together. The Justice League. Batman going out into the world and finding all these people who have abilities to join this team. I'm burping like crazy. I'm sorry.
Disgusting.
To find this team and to become the new beacons of hope that Superman was, essentially. Even though people weren't too fond of Superman in some cases.
I mean, to the point that he had to die.
Yeah.
You gotta die.
It doesn't make sense for Batman. I mean, yeah, he likes to create teams. He creates teams all the time. But I really feel like it would have been more impactful if there was a situation that happened and the team kind of just shows up on the scene as
who they are. Yeah, just all joining.
Like the animated,
that's weird.
Like the animated movie, the animated movie Justice League War. I think that is the perfect way to introduce something.
Yeah.
Like, sure, we didn't have Darkseid show up and shoot laser beams and destroy half of New York, but everyone kind of just showed up. They were working their own situation. They all learned about each other and all this stuff, and they became a team and they defeated the bad guy. That makes sense. The whole trekking around the world trying to find these motherfuckers, just to have the little bits of action that they have throughout it's just not. It's not a good way to tell a story. It's lame. It's lame. It's lame. It's lame. I thought it was lame. Yeah. That's my biggest thing I don't like about both the theatrical cut and the Snyder cut. Besides the nightmare sequences, I hated the nightmare sequence in BVS. It did nothing for the story.
Right.
I hated it in this too. I hated it. I hated it. And it's tacked on.
Why is Batman having these nightmares? Why him?
He's a sleepy man. He's a sleepy man.
He's a human
all
out
he's
of
doing
all
is
of them.
having these grand dreams. I would not be surprised if somehow we do get like a Justice League 2 and it's all inside this nightmare universe and he's going to wake up in the end in the shower like Dallas.
Wait, what? It was all a dream.
It was all a dream. The whole movie was a dream. But the nightmare sequence adds nothing. It's tacked on to the very end of Justice League. It's just. I think Red Letter Meter said it best. It is like a wet fart of an
At the
ending.
Yeah, because it's like, what was it? Just setting up Injustice. That's it. That's
It is basically Injustice.
I looked at. I was like, oh, this is Injustice.
Yeah, Lois
The
dies.
Joker killed Lois.
Yeah, everyone they have their little. They have a team of.
Wait, did the Martian Manhunter give him that dream?
Possibly.
Has he
possibly
gave him the vision?
It's possible.
And that's why he showed up?
Because it's kind of weird because like he has a dream and he wakes up and he's just like feels something and then he looks outside and he's like Martian Manhunter. So maybe he did. Maybe he's showing him a potential future.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's stupid.
Yes.
Wet fart. Because before that, you got the whole sequence of the original post-credit sequence of Lex Luthor on the yacht, and then Deathstroke comes up and says, oh, I want to take down Bruce Wayne.
I need to kill.
And yeah, then we cut to other shit that's going on, and then we get the whole nightmare sequence as an epilogue, and it's pointless. It's pointless.
Absolutely pointless.
You could have done without it entirely.
I think they're just trying to show that like we still choose to use these characters as your villains moving forward.
Joker wasn't even a villain technically.
I mean, I'm just saying like these actors. Well, I misspoke. We're showing you that these guys still have a job. They're still gonna be the Joker and Deathstroke and all of that.
But they're not doing it. Warner Brothers is not continuing the Snydercut. There isn't gonna be any more nightmare sequences. They're done with it.
I'm just saying. They're saying look forward to the Injustice one with Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, the whole nightmare sequence for the last time is trash. Zack Snyder is obsessed with doing dream sequences.
Theatrical cut, trash.
Yeah.
Ending scene, trash. Nightmare scene, trash.
Snyder
Barry Allen, trash.
In
this movie.
Except for the end.
Okay.
He does save the day.
Okay, that's cool.
Like he does do Flash things eventually, but the characterization of him is not great. But Snyder, what is with Snyder and the love of dream sequences?
Because they're cool.
It's all he fucking.
And he has the choice to put it
much time into them.
Slow motion. It makes more sense. Like dreams are in slow motion, and therefore slow motion dreams.
I can't remember if Watchmen had a lot of dream sequences. I know they had flashbacks and shit. So I guess you can consider that kind of a dream sequence because it's like they have a memory at the same time, and then they cut back.
There's a lot of flashbacks.
A lot of flashbacks. So I guess you can consider it a dream sequence, but it progresses the story in some ways and it reveals stuff. But Sucker Punch, all dreams.
He loves dreams.
I'm sure there's.
We didn't even get to see that bitch dance. Like, why is her dance so entrancing? She looks like she does not have rhythm. Come on, she'll just sit literally. I tried to watch Sucker Punch. Visually, it's pretty, but when I watched it, and I'm like, what is her? Let's see her dance.
No.
Like she just sways her hips, and then the guy's like, whoa, and the dream sequence happens. It's like, dude,
it's whatever.
Show it.
Overall, like I said, Snydercut, good stuff. Probably the best thing that the DCEU's probably done.
Besides Shazam,
which is top tier shit to me.
That's pretty good. Shazam was pretty good. And we saw this. You want to talk about the trailer for Suicide Squad or whatever? Or no?
Yeah. I mean, Suicide Squad looks interesting. Looks fun.
Yeah.
It looks like a fun little romp.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of like it looks like the route they were trying to do a little bit in the first one.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, they still wanted to have that, like, oh, they're so evil characters and stuff, but in dark, dark humor and stuff or whatever, but with little light humor here and there. So, I mean, I think James Gunn was a good choice.
He knows how to write characters.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I mean, I have no real reaction to this because I'm scared they're gonna fuck it up somehow. But since James Gunn is involved, I maybe they'll be able to keep his original vision.
Yeah, but I mean, he knows how to make cool sequences. Like,
He makes cool sequences. He understands how to handle a large cast of characters.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, he knows what he's doing. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one is fantastic.
Yeah,
Second
that's
one,
my favorite. Some people like 2 better because I guess there's some, like, the sequence with what's his name?
Ego?
Huh?
Ego?
No. Michael Rooker's character.
Oh, because Yandu.
Yandu. Yeah, the Yandu scene with Groot. That was awesome. That's amazing.
The reason
I love that scene.
The reason I don't like the second one is a lot of the action is just CGI space battle.
Right.
Shoot the laser bullshit, and it's whatever. I prefer the more hand-to-hand stuff they did in the first one, which they're going to do a lot in this one, it looks like.
Yeah, all the characters are little... there's some more hand-to-hand combat type characters.
But you could tell who's gonna die already from the trailer.
Who? John Cena?
No, John Cena's gonna be fine.
Okay.
He's gonna last probably. He might die. He might end up becoming a bad guy at the end of it, or he already is a bad guy. But
yeah.
But
they all are.
But based on the trailer, I'm pretty sure it's gonna come down to Harley, Bloodshot, Idris's character, Joel Kinnaman's character.
Okay, yeah, because he sticks around.
King Shark and the Polka Dotted Man.
But he said he wanted to die.
Well, he don't get the option.
Too fucking bad.
Everyone else is gonna get. Maybe Captain Boomerang might just go.
Yeah, probably he would.
He's gonna duck out.
He's just like, yeesh, yeesh, yeesh. I'm gonna die to you. It's a beaut.
Light us.
Light us.
What else? Oh, we actually went to the movies.
Oh yeah.
We went and saw a movie.
We went to
since Tenet.
the disease box place.
We went to that place
where they spent you $10 for chicken tenders.
It was
$8 for a box of popcorn.
And I don't understand why they've been holding out movie theaters for so long. Because like the way they're setting up the seating, because you had the assigned seating essentially.
Yeah.
And it's all socially distanced. Everyone wears their masks the entire time unless you're eating your popcorn or drinking your drink. It seems safe enough to me.
You gotta touch a lot of the same thing people touch.
Just don't lick your fucking hands. Wash your hands. They sanitized the theaters. When we were leaving, I saw them and they had the sanitizing pump. They were gonna spray everything down.
Oh, okay, well, I mean, it's still just, people scared.
It's fine. I understand people are scared, but I feel like it is safe enough to return to the theaters more regularly as long as they continue to do the social distancing stuff.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
And I look forward to going and seeing Godzilla vs. Kong in the theaters, as well as Mortal Kombat.
But we saw Nobody.
We did.
Starring Bob Odenkirk.
And it was...
Of Tim and Eric fame.
That's all he's known for.
No, I'm just
not
joking.
Not Breaking Bad, not, what's it called?
In my
Saul
heart.
Goodman or whatever it's called. Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. No, but it's just like, I watch Tim and Eric all the time. And every time he shows up, I'm just like, Bob! Like, and then when I saw the trailer as soon as I was like done watching an episode where he was in it, and the Nobody trailer dropped, and I was like, what? You gotta see this. This looks so good.
It was
really good. I liked it.
Fun. It was, it had a lot of funny parts in it. But they played it all straight.
Yeah. And I like that they played it out straight. I think he's the perfect actor to do that. He was convincing as his character. Everybody seemed fleshed out. Like everyone was fleshed out.
Great.
Yeah.
Everything was great.
Okay, when the trailer dropped, they only showed Christopher Lloyd for like 2 seconds. And I was like, I recognized him immediately. And Sean was like, that ain't no Christopher Lloyd.
I thought it was
Christopher Lloyd
from Breaking Bad.
No.
John, what's his last name? I can't remember.
Anyway, I knew who it was from the moment I saw him. And I knew he would have, since they had Christopher Lloyd in there, I knew he had some sort of bigger role than just being the dad in the nursing home.
He was awesome.
And he was quickly one of my favorite parts of the movie. And
you had your hands over your mask. Every time he was on screen, he was like, "Yay!"
Because I love Christopher Lloyd. He's awesome. And he's really good actor. I found this movie that kind of flew under the radar where he stars in. He's really good in it. It's kind of a weird movie. It's called White Dragon and Black Dragon. You saw me watching it?
I glanced over.
Yeah, so it's weird, and it's like I don't know what's going on in it, but because I was just like, what is going on here? But Christopher Lloyd is great in everything he's in. I just love it.
I just love it.
Yeah, and RZA's in it too.
Yeah, RZA's in it.
He has an interesting character.
The only thing I didn't care for it was the voiceover stuff that he was doing. I didn't see like it was necessary. It was already portraying what he was.
We knew what he was going on.
We already knew what was going on well enough that we didn't need the voiceover stuff. And it gradually goes away after the bus sequence. They don't even have the whole shit anymore.
But he kind of does it when he's talking to people. Like when they would do like the flashback. There's some flashbacks parts. And he had some sort of narration, but he is
when
talking.
He was doing the flashback, like talking about his exposition and what his life was before, I didn't really. I thought that was kind of clunky the way they did it.
Yeah.
But it was clever at the same time.
I feel like the narration was kind of like a nod towards like, since his character is technically like, I don't know, special agent kind of thing, sort of.
He was basically a assassin.
Yeah. Assassin. So that kind of was like. I don't know. I kind of fit the whole, like, I don't know, special agent thing. I was here.
It wasn't my bag of tea.
Bag of tea?
Yeah, it wasn't my bag of tea.
He wasn't my bag of tea.
He wasn't my bag of tea. That's the truth.
But I thought it was, the sequences were good, too.
Everything was really good. So much fun in that movie.
It kind of gave me, it's not as edited as tightly as Edgar Wright, but definitely how the way that they would punchline was within some of the editing and like people's reactions and things like that.
Yeah.
Really fun. Really, really fun.
I mean, if you get a chance to go to the theater and there's nothing you feel like is really interesting right now, go see Nobody.
Is good.
It's going to be a fun time. If you are into a funny action, John Wicky / Edgar Wright film.
Yeah, like definitely like gave me vibes of
John Wicky.
John Wicky. It gave me vibes of Hot Fuzz. You know, Hot Fuzz
meets John Wick.
Yeah, I think that was really like kind of one of the inspirations. And then I kind of thought that they were going to do that high edited. You know, there's a scene where he fights multiple people on a bus, and it's in the trailer. From way it looks like it's cut, it looked like I thought it was going to be like cut, like a lot of like editing, but it was pretty much like almost one take.
It was a 10-minute sequence of them fighting on that bus, I feel like. And it was glorious. Like he was getting his ass kicked, but he was also taking on 5 or 6 dudes at once.
Right. Yeah, and it was realistic, but at the same time you're like, oh, this dude is not someone to be played with. It's really cool.
So
yeah,
I would highly recommend seeing Nobody if you feel like venturing out into the theaters.
You won't be disappointed for sure. All right, and then what else happened? A few weeks ago, we were just kind of like, what can we watch on HBO Max? And there's all the Ghibli films on there, and that's we mentioned recently that I watched Whispers of the Heart for the first time, and Sean never seen Princess Mononoke, which is I think it's a perfect Studio Ghibli movie. I think it's really, really good. It's one of my favorite ones. I saw it kind of late. Like, I kind of went into Studio Ghibli movies as a kid, like kind of like it wasn't something that was always on my radar. But when Spirited Away came out, I just was like, I gotta watch all this other stuff because I like the style of storytelling and how it's animated and everything. And I picked up Princess Mononoke, which was a little bit before my time. And I was surprised at like how violent it is. It's not a over gory type of movie, but it's definitely like it treats. Yeah, Sean likes gory stuff. But anyway, I wanted to know what you thought of the movie, Sean. Seeing it for the first. What are you doing? Can you?
I thought the movie was really good. I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was
comparing it to like if you saw Spirited Away and you liked it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely like that classic fairy tale type of thing. Like there's some horrific things for a child to go through, but then it's just like this journey that Chihiro was going through was also to enrich her to be more, less frightened and like more brave and everything like that. Like in like well, her parents get turned into pigs and she has to work and see how hard it is and everything like that. And then this is like a kind of a different tone altogether.
I just liked the world, really.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a really interesting concept. Everyone had great motivations.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
Ashitaka. The Prince Ashitaka.
I was gonna get to the prince.
Oh, okay.
And then the princess. What's her face?
Her name is San.
San.
Mm-hmm.
I was Irontown.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just like the idea of Irontown.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand what they're trying to do is to have their own freedoms, be able to survive on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they're encroaching onto the natural habitat of the world,
Right.
led to various conflicts with the wildlife
Mm-hmm.
who are
They're a physical presence.
physical.
Now.
Yeah, they're godlike beings who protect the forest.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're the people who are just trying
To live.
are now in direct conflict with these magical beings who are trying to protect
Their
nature,
life too.
their own life. So
Mm-hmm.
it's conflicting ideologies,
Mm-hmm.
which was is a great way to tell a story.
Yeah.
And then you got the other characters in the middle trying to do their own thing.
Right.
So you got the prince, who's inflicted with the curse. And he's trying to find a cure.
Right.
You got the
But he's coming from a culture that is completely removed. Like they're completely like they embrace nature, but they have their culture. And even when he gets infected by the boar god, the god that curses them, and it's like I hate all of y'all from what you've done to what the natural world has created. The witch doctor, the village elder, she's like, I still respect you. I like in her, she goes up to it and is like, listen, I just want to know what is going on, but I respect you. I respect nature, and we have our own things that we don't want to be negative towards you and everything like that. So like Ashitaka is trying to be like, I want humanity and nature to coincide. He's so completely in the middle. I'm sorry, I know my voice cracked. Excuse me. Too much coffee. But he's completely in the middle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, he's more in tune with the nature side of things, but he understands humanity at the same time. So he was the perfect median to the whole situation. And then you meet the character of San, and she
or San. Sorry.
San, and she hates. She's a person who hates humans,
Right.
which was an interesting concept as well. And then basically he turns her into a more humanistic type of person as well.
She's between two worlds too, because she got abandoned as a child to be raised by wolves, and that's the life that she knows. That being in this family that's accepted her, and brings her into nature and sees like what there's the
beauty of the world,
right? And then humans are just basically destroyed. The humans that she's exposed to are the humans from Irontown.
Yeah,
and
it's just
listen. There's nothing wrong with the characters from Irontown. All of them are good characters.
No,
even Lady
like I said,
Eboshi.
it's just conflicting ideologies of living life.
Lady Eboshi is a good character, great villain.
Great villain character.
Yeah, but she even's like at the end, she's like, I'm still gonna have an industry and try to make this city and protect these people.
She was doing everything she had to.
But I'm gonna try to make it better and try not to. I think she started to get greedy. That's the problem.
I don't think she was. I mean, she wanted to expand. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
the expansion was in direct conflict with nature.
And she kept on trying to keep nature from regrowing.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a villainous trait, but she had good intentions for the people though that she supported. Like she lived with those people. She wasn't like in a high castle somewhere. Right. She was on the ground with all of them.
And she rose women out of being like whorehouses and being
she was
abused.
On the front lines.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a true leader in every sense of the word. And then they're going up against nature itself with the wolf gods and the boar gods and all the other gods protecting the various parts of the regions and whatnot. And yeah, it was good stuff. Then you got the what's his face, the hunter character.
Oh, Billy Bob's character. Yeah, the monk.
And he's doing something for
the emperor.
The emperor, who's being a total dick because he wants to kill the forest god so they can do whatever they want, essentially, which is going to destroy the planet. So it's this great humanitarian climate change fucking thing before everyone really started talking about climate change.
Yeah, Hayao Miyazaki has always been like really into like I gotta save the environment and trying to bring awareness to what people are doing, because I told you about the scene in Spirited Away where the river god goes to the bathhouse. They think he's a stink god, but it's just a river god that's super polluted.
Yeah. I watched it with you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. But he always does something that shows, like, shines a light on what people are doing.
Yeah, and that's how you do a movie. You have a message behind it, and he had a message. He had a story. He had well-defined characters. He had a great conflict. Everything in that movie was great, and I have nothing but respect for the entire movie.
Yeah. I'm glad you liked it, because it's one of my favorites. You will probably like Nausicaa as well, Valley of the Wind. That's the next one I'm going to show him. What else? We
wanted to talk about, you wanted to talk about two movies, but I'm not sure which way you wanted to go.
Okay, so...
Did you want to talk about Robo-Woman, or did you want to talk about Excalibur?
I'm going to talk about this one movie, and I'm going to start with the joke that I told you about. So if you've seen A Kid in King Arthur's Court, this movie on Amazon is we got The Kid in King Arthur's Court at home on Blu-ray. Great value. It's called Excalibur Kid. And I like to find movies that I'm like, what were they thinking? When was this made? Like, it's like totally of its time. It's so dated. It's so strange. And it's basically Kid in King Arthur's Court, but it starts off with this kid that doesn't want to move out of his home, and he's some sort of a nerd. He's sort of like a medieval nerd type kid. Like he has a fencing club or something, and he calls his family fascists because they had to move. They're moving from the countryside to the city, and he gets teleported into King Arthur time. Like he takes this, basically he becomes King Arthur by happenstance because of Morgause, the witch. And he completely changes the destiny of all the characters involved. And he's just like, cool, bro. I'm a king now. Woo! And so it is probably he's got a puka shell necklace. Like, I don't know.
He's straight out of 1995.
He complains that it's cold in castles. It's really weird. I couldn't believe that I was watching it. It's just it's 90s as hell, and I love it. It's kind of like so cringy, but it's so like that delicious cringe that you're just like, someone made this, and this is out here. So yeah, Morgause wanted to mess up everyone's destiny. King Arthur has an accent for one scene, and then the rest he's just like, fuck it. He's just like, yeah, that man is crazy. I don't want to be king and everything like that. There's no one has a British accent, actually, I don't think. And there's this one girl who was completely dubbed over the whole time. Yeah, it's amazing.
I have nothing to add to this conversation because I was not watching the movie. I glanced back every once in a while.
He had that spiky haircut, too much gel.
It looked like it was a made-for-TV movie from 1995.
I think it's Canadian because there's this one part where he says, "I'm gonna help him out, help him out," and then there's like a scene that goes on way too long. He's I'm gonna help him out, and then I'm gonna be like, yeah, and then it doesn't cut. Like I think they just kept it in. Like you know how because in scenes when people they do film those scenes, right? If they just wanted to awkwardly like the dialogue to peter out, and he's just supposed to be awkwardly there, you're supposed to cut before he has nothing else to say. Like it's just, does that make sense? They kept the scene in. They kept all these scenes.
Yeah, they don't know how to edit.
And
they never knew how to edit back in the 90s. They always held things way too long, especially for TV movies, because they needed to pad the runtime.
Merlin is annoying. Basically, everyone's annoying. The only character I did like was the villain type character, because she has this line where she
rewound that so many times. It's the only reason I know this part.
Funny. She takes her mind. She uses her mind control powers on two knights, and she's like, "I am your queen," and they're like, "Yes, queen, we love you." She's like, "I will rule the world." They're like, "Your reign is supreme." She's like, "Thank you. Now that's enough." It's so good. She like flips her hair. She's just like, "Yeah, I know I'm a bad bitch.
Get
now
to work."
Stop. Exactly. Like, now go. It's so good. I was like, yes, do your thing, girl. So her whole plan though, like, was to mess up the destiny of King Arthur, bring some rando kid from the future to her time, be confused as to why he knows he wants things from his time, from modern times, and they talk normal. They say things like okay and cool, and like I just now realizing.
It's probably a dream. The whole thing's a dream.
No, it's not a dream. I haven't finished it. I was cringing too hard. But anyway, she brings this boy in because she wants to be queen, and by doing so, she lies and says that she's the sister of this boy, and people listen to her because she's older than him.
Mm-hmm.
And if he gets crowned and she kills him, or what is she trying to do? Because like, how is that going to make you queen? I don't understand. It was weird. It's a really, really long roundabout way. Why couldn't she just take the sword out the stone? We could have just eliminated the boy altogether. Use your magic to take it out the stone.
I didn't watch it. So I have no
You're like,
input.
my brain is completely free. This is not living in my brain rent free.
I have another movie on my mind, but I'm not going to talk about it today.
What a movie.
Spy High.
Oh, we can talk about Spy High. We talk about it next time.
This thing is already going long, way too long.
Okay, one more thing is Robo Woman. Just look at the trailer, guys. Just look at the trailer. Please, editor Sean, drop in just some clips of it, because this girl, okay, they wanted to do RoboCop, but they had to make it somehow. They had to make it pink. Make it pink. Make it weird. Make it weird. Make it
weird.
Rapey. Make it weird. Just. I realize the woman who's the lead actress. I'm so sorry. I for some reason this makes it to you, but I did not know you were Asian until watching it a second time, because the surgery that you had on your face, I could not see.
We'll know for more when Robo Woman 2 comes out.
When is that coming out? Because
it doesn't matter. They had it in the credits.
Oh my god!
So they already announced it.
Oh my god!
So it better come out, or else I'm gonna be very mad.
I'm waiting. I want to see what's the next step.
If anything, watch Robo Woman for the end sequence where they're running through the woods and they're using the car lights as their only source of light in pitch black. Mm-hmm. None of the lighting makes any sense.
The actress's voice is grating.
The robot woman's voice is literally a robotic overlay.
But her natural voice.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go to the party, and it's a birthday party.
It's higher than that.
Oh my god! And then, um, what was another problem? She has her design is all like Party City shit. And then like the doctor's like, "Hey, I want to make your friend into a robo woman. Do I have your consent?" And she's like, "What's gonna happen to her eyes?" She's like, he straight up says, "Well, she's gonna look like something out of those bad sci-fi movies with her visor over her eyes." She straight up.
That's great.
All right, I think that's it for today.
This is coming to a weird ending. Like I feel like we
I'm
didn't.
so sorry.
We were still building to a climax, or maybe we hit a climax a while ago during this podcast, and then we kind of just sputtered out.
I don't know what else to say about it. I just think that it was a hodgepodge of all sorts.
Is there anything you're looking forward to this next few weeks?
Mortal Kombat for sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I can't wait to see it. We saw the trailer at the beginning of Nobody, and it was just like, okay, seeing it on the big screen, I gotta go. We have to see this.
Yeah, after the end of Mortal Kombat, there must have been a kid in the theater because they went, that scared me.
That scared me.
Why you bring your kid to Nobody?
I don't think it was a kid. I think it was a girl, and she's like, "Oh my god, that scared me."
Oh my god.
Why are you see? Nobody's gonna scare you too, because it gets
She was probably cowering the entire time.
probably.
Stupid.
Get the fuck out of my theater.
You're a coward.
Didn't we, when one time when we went to see Logan in theaters way before, those good times where it was like
So we went and saw Logan multiple times?
No, we saw it once.
Yeah, we did.
There was some horror movie, like some bad, it was like one of the Annabelles in front of the, in the trailer before Logan.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were sitting next to this couple, and who, like those couples that they looked like their siblings. It was one of those couples. And like at the end, like throughout the whole trailer of Annabelle, she was jumping. She's like, "Oh my god, that looks terrifying." And I'm like, it's a doll. Like,
you ever been to a movie where they brought their kid to see a horror movie and then they expect the kid to not cry during the movie?
Did you've been through that before?
Yes. I don't remember what movie, but they brought their kid to a horror movie.
Straight up.
No, it was fucking Quiet Place.
Oh,
They brought their kid to see Quiet Place.
Yeah,
and the kid was crying. Quiet Place.
It was a bunch of kids actually. There was like 2-3 kids, wasn't it?
Yeah,
There's been times when we've gone to the theater and we always see stuff like Quiet Place, horror movies. We saw that freaking remake of Pet Sematary in theaters, and there was kids there too. There was kids there too, and it's just like, why do you do this? Why do y'all do this to yourselves?
Y'all dumb. Stop bringing your kids to horror movies.
But there's always that one girl who's like, "Oh my god, that's so scary. Oh my god, the doll is walking. Oh my god."
It's rated R.
It's rated R, bitch.
That's 17 and up.
My mom, listen, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Not 6 months and lower.
I'm just gonna say there are parents out there who bring their kids who are younger to R-rated movies because at least they kind of have a sense that their kid is not immature, and then and they won't scream and cry. But sometimes you need to reassess.
Anything else you want to add?
Nope. Thank you so much for listening to us ramble. We did have some good points about the movies and stuff. I will recommend to watch Nobody for sure. That was very satisfactory. Movie going. No, I'm just saying like going.
Fun as fuck.
That's
on my grading scale.
I'm saying like for going out to see a movie. I'm not saying like I'm saying that I was happy that I went to go see it for sure.
Yeah,
It's definitely worth your time and your attention.
If you love going to the movies and you haven't been to a movie in a long time and you're still feeling kind of down, it is a great pick-me-up. I feel so rejuvenated. I haven't seen a movie in the theater in probably, 3, 4, 5 months since Tenet.
yeah, we're definitely people who like the movie-going experience.
We will go every week, every other week.
Like, even if we went to see something as trash as Pet Sematary, at least going out and seeing trailers and eating the popcorn and stuff and having that experience is still something that I enjoy. Like, I understand why people are not going to the theaters, and we're probably not going to have theaters the way they used to be for a very long time, but I do still enjoy that experience for sure. But yeah, Winter Soldier, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm still interested. I'm going to still watch. There are problems with it. But yeah, I don't need to see the Snydercut from what you've told me. And besides that, that's all we got to say.
That's all I got to say.
We'll be back with more podcasts and our poorly reviewed podcast.
We're going to try to pump these out once a week. And our recalls are going to be monthly. I promise. I know I've said it in the past. I promise they're going to be monthly. The latest one is, it's going to be Buffy. The latest one just needs to be color corrected, and I can throw it up on the tube, and it's good to go. So
the tube.
Baba Booey.
Thank you so much for the support.
Thank you very much for the support.
If you guys are coming from Twitch, I really appreciate it. I will be back shortly on Twitch. But yeah, thank you so much for all the new people joining and watching and listening. We really appreciate it. Hope you like it. All right, take care. Is that the mother? Is that it? What is that? Oh, it's got a mouth at the bottom.
Yeah, that's a squid.
It's scary. I don't like.
Oh, it's okay.